Start. श्री गौरनिताई की जय। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Everyone, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Bolo
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Everyone together now. Hare Krishna. Everyone.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
One more time.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Nitai Gaur Premanande. Illa Prabhupada ki. Give me a second. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Nitai Gaur Premanandi La Prabhupada Ki
Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for assembling here. We are truly blessed to have the esteemed association of His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj. It is an honor beyond words to have the privilege of introducing Maharaj. His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj is a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and is an initiating guru practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 50 years. He is one of the most outstanding preaching leaders of ISKCON in Latin America. He is the member member of GBC and carries out of his service in Mexico, Central America, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, north of Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, and Arizona in USA. The service rendered by him for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada is the first class, mercifully bestowing Krishna consciousness to many fortunate souls. And Prabhu Maharaj is also chairman of GBC. With that, we will welcome Maharaja by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Devotees, please move forward. Kindly move forward. Only 2 columns, Prabhus, and rest all Matajis, that's right.
Hare Krishna. Everyone can hear? Yes? Okay. First of all, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to be here for the first time, in this center and get your association. So it's a very wonderful opportunity. Austin is one very, very prosperous city and very prosperous place for spreading Krishna consciousness, as is everywhere. Bible. Hate the sin, not the sinner. Otherwise, be concerned with the modes of nature. Understand these modes of nature, how they're working, the effect they're having on it. Just like we may not feel well, so we go to the doctor. You have this, you have that. So, in the same way, we go to Bhagavad Gita, we go to Krishna, we go to Sri Guru and the Vaishnava to understand the effects of the laws of nature. Because our tendency is not to recognize the modes of nature, but to try to avoid those places where we see the modes of nature manifesting. Like somebody does something to us, says something to us that we don't like. Then we react. Well, you criticize me, I'll criticize you. Sounds like I'm in outer space. So, but we don't understand necessarily what is the root cause of why is this person doing this? Why am I feeling angry? So the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, it's not the people that are acting. They've already acted. We're just seeing the effects of it. And in the 4th chapter, Krishna says, don't try to figure it out. Don't try to figure it out mechanically. That, okay, this karma, if I do this, then this is the karma and that will come. You'll never figure it out because the complexities, the intricacies and the complexities of karma are very difficult to understand. Better to understand 3 things. Karma, vikarma. Karma is the effects of things that are favorable for sense gratification. And vikarma are the things that are unfavorable. When we do things that are against the laws of dharma, that's vikarma. And neither one of them are very good. Just like when Prasad Maharaj, he was, Lord Nrsimhadev said, please accept some blessing or something. He said, dear Lord, I didn't come here to do business with you. It's like, isn't that, sometimes we do that. I'll go to the temple and I'll give this much and maybe, Krishna will give more. He's got more. I could give $200 and Krishna can give me a house. But Krishna is better. Krishna says, if you want to cheat, you want to try to cheat, I'm the best cheater. My cheating potency, Maya, is very expert. You can't. So, but anyway, if we go to Krishna or something external, Srila Prabhupada said, this is like trying to kill a mosquito with a cannon. But you don't need a cannon to kill a mosquito. So we don't need to go to Krishna to get some material benefit, because Krishna is offering us. He's offering us pure devotion. He's offering us Krishna prema. So Chaitanya is offering us Krishna prema. So we don't have to go to Krishna to get something material. It's going to come by karma. And Narada Muni was teaching to Vyasadeva. He said that talabhyatam dukkavad anyatam sarvatra kale narada viranam. That just like you don't look for misery, it happens. So in the same way, don't look for material happiness. It will come. According to your karmic situation, it will come. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya has advised us to be able to get rid of these anarthas. The 2 basic steps in the Shikshastra, in the beginning of Shikshastra. Chettodarpanamanja. That first we cleanse the gross material desires from the heart for chanting. Now, we can do that intellectually. We can understand, oh, this is not good, follow these 4 regulated principles, and this is also not so good, it's not favorable for devotional service. No. But it's very difficult just with that intellectual exercise to be able to, understand, to be able to really have the conviction in one's heart. Because according to Krishna Bhagavad Gita, that one who has lived free, one who has lived free in previous lives from sinful activity and in this life, then one can be free from duality and one can be free from illusion. So that way, if you lived a life free from sinful activity in the previous life, which we don't know, and if I lived this life free from sinful activity, one could think, just like one time I was in Punjabi Bagh, and one lady, very cultured lady, so I read the Prophet's purport, he said something about being free from sex life. He said, that's never been a problem. What am I going to say now? And then her husband said, who are you trying to fool? He saved me. But the point is that we may think we're very pious, but most of you, great majority come from India. India, of course, not everybody's pious, but piety is more prevalent there than other places. And sometimes we think, I come from this family, I have this type of background, I have this type of education, therefore I'm pious. But according to Lord Chaitanya's definition of piety, he said piety means if I were pious, I would not be breathing. Because if I breathe, it means I want to maintain this body within this world. And therefore, I have no love for Krishna. If I have love for Krishna, why would I be breathing? So therefore, everything you see me, you say I have devoted, it's all a show. It's just a theatrical. I'm not. So he's showing us how deep we have to look within our heart to achieve Bhava Mahadvarni. We can move up some things with our chanting and hearing, as Krishna says, touch, you hear from me, and you chant. That chanting will give you the strength. Bhajante Mahamudra. You will have the Dhrida Vrata. You will have the determination to, by the strength of chanting. But then how should that chanting be? It should be, we have to always, more than any other thing in our spiritual life, if we want to go beyond the Anartha stage, we have to chant every year and always cultivate our chanting. As Vyasadeva continued in his meditation, he said, so Maya is everyone is bewildered by these modes of nature. Paropi manute. And therefore, part of me, even though the living entity is transcendental, manute anartha, because they're contemplating these anarthas. Just like we're in the midst of loka, you would say, unlimited anarthas. So, how can we avoid them? How can we avoid them? So, Vyasadeva said, even though we're transcendental, what could come that it will be very difficult to avoid it. And therefore he says, how can we get rid of these anarthas? We can do it directly. Bhakti Yogam, by taking up this practice of bhakti. But it has to be seriously done. Bhakti doesn't mean being a pious person. No. It certainly doesn't mean being an inbhakti. But it doesn't mean being a pious person. I was saying Prasad Maharaj, he told the Singhadev, I don't want to do any business. He said, well, then ask me for something. Okay, save my father. That's already done. Not only your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and so many generations to come, and they're all free. So ask me for something. And he said, my dear Lord, the only thing I ask is I be engaged in your service work. But Lord Nrsimhadev wasn't satisfied. He said, no, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a kingdom. You're going to be in charge of all the demons. What a great product. But he said, you will have unlimited enjoyment. And therefore, you can burn up all of your pious activities. And you can do sacrifices to eliminate your sinful activity. Of course, Prasad Maharaj really didn't have any sinful activity. But Lord Nrsimhadev is showing us that even pious activities are not favorable for devotional service, and we become attached to it. There should be transcendental activities. It should not be karma, it should be akarma. Karma means that which generates no more karma. Mm-hmm. And that way, because we have such a karmic load, we're carrying so much karma, so many reactions. And this is what Lord Chaitanya refers to as the Bhava Maha-Agni. Maha-Agni is something that Arjuna asked in the 6th chapter of the Gita. Why is it, Krishna? I know that I shouldn't do something, but I do it anyway. And this is because of this Maha-Agni, this karmic reservoir. Like you see a big reservoir that is too full of water, is ready to burst. So this karmic reservoir, even though I do pious activities, it's like when Krishna came upon King Riga in the form of a lizard. So when they began to touch him, he became King Riga again. And so he explained he was a pious king. One of his favorite activities was giving charity to the poor. So, but he gave cows, a certain number of cows to 2 different brothers. And one cow just wandered over into the other group. He didn't move the cow. The cow just went to the other group. And the Brahmin who got one less cow said, you're cheating me. Therefore, I curse you to take birth at the kid. That was the only thing he did. That's how difficult it is to just be a pious person in this world. You're trying so hard. One stray cow, one stray dog, one stray cockroach, one little thing can go wrong. It's just so frustrating. What to speak of the effects of the modes of nature that are so strong. So how can we get rid of these? So he says, it's a very important thing. This is in several places in the Bhagavatam. It has this phrase, Bhakti Yogam Adokshite. Why does it say Adokshite? Because we have to understand that Bhakti is Adaksha. It is to that which is beyond the vision or the capability of the senses. they cannot perceive it. Otherwise, bhakti yoga, in other words, is not something casual, not something that we do casually. Yeah, because there's two options. You can live your life and fit bhakti into it, or you can practice bhakti and fit your life into it. We make that choice. Which way do I want to do it? Do I want to be a devotee, and as my duty, I do what I have to do in this world? Or, as is very popular way of thinking in India, I have my dharma, and if I can fit a little bhakti in to make it a little better, that'll be good. So we have to make that choice. And the sooner we make it, the better, because the problem with Anarthas is that they're generated in different ways. One way Anartha is bad association. And therefore, from the very beginning, Rupa Goswami, when he recommends Anartha Nivritti, he says, Adao Shraddha. You have to have faith. And how do we get that faith? Bhakta Satyasanga. So, it's like Prasad Maharaj said. That verse, I can't remember it right now. Naisham, next word, Naisham, Tavat Anupramam Vrim, Sprishat Vinato Pagamam Vidartaha. It says that by getting the touch of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can eliminate the anartha. But this won't happen. Mahida Sham, Raja, Padabhishaka. Unless you get the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnava on your head, it will not. So, who are those Vaishnavas? Niskinchana. Those who are Niskinchana. King Kunti said, what does it mean to be Kinchana? But there's four things that increase the anarthas that occupy our heart within this world. And those things are being proud of my birth, or my place of birth. Omega Jadi. I remember one time I was distributing books many, many years ago in the desert, New Mexico. There wasn't a plant. There was no plant, not even like a little cactus. It was like total 100% desert. And so I stopped to get petrol. And so as the person came out, put in the petrol, I said, what a place. He said, isn't it beautiful? Especially at sunset, with the sun on the sand. So this is where we become very attached to our place of birth. Just like sometimes in the airport, I meet people, and they say, where are you from? Oh, you're from, I'm also from. But if you ever met that person in your country, you'd never even speak to each other. All of a sudden, because we're born in the same place or something. So these are the things that's recommended. If we don't want to accumulate anartha, don't be proud of your birth, or Aishwarya, your wealth. Lord Chaitanya says, Adana Janana Sundari. Don't be attracted to wealth. Don't be attracted to reputation. We should glorify that person. One name of Krishna is Uttama Shloka. And Uttama Shloka means that person who is worthy of being glorified. So let us work on the reputation of the Supreme Personality of God. Because if I spread my reputation, then somebody will say, oh, this person's right. Another person will think, I got to get rid of him. He's a competition. Or he's expressing ideas that are contrary to mine. But if we make Krishna the most famous person, which he already is, but we educate the rebels in this material world that Krishna is the most wonderful, beautiful person, then we have a common denominator. When people can focus on Krishna, then they don't focus on their ahankar. But when people can, if you don't know Krishna, then you focus on the body, the family, friends, society, country, etc. So, Janmaikara Shuta, being very, very proud of our knowledge. Know something. I memorized Bhagavad Gita. I did this. Being very proud of our qualities, of our beauty, beautiful qualifications that we made. So these things increase the enlightenment. Queen Kunti said they increase the fever of material existence. And that fever of material existence, the Prabhupada says, is called the inordinate desire to accumulate material objects. Otherwise, we have to accumulate something. But inordinate means excessive, unnecessary. We accumulate the unnecessary thing, and this creates anartha. And anarthas ultimately result in upper offenses. Why? Because the more we want to consume something, when you start that cycle of everything is coming toward me, I'm pulling everything toward me, wealth, reputation, focusing on me, then anyone who interferes with that, we become envious. So therefore, to prepare ourselves for Anartha Nivritti, Krishna gives us some advice. Advaita Sarvabhuta. That give up envy. First thing you have to do is just like when Krishna is speaking to Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, I think it's at the beginning of the 9th chapter. I'm going to explain this detailed knowledge, this more intimate knowledge to you because your heart is free from envy. So when we free our heart from envy, then Maitra Karuna Evacha. Krishna says progressively. First, you don't be envious of any other living being. Be their servant. Try to give, don't try to take, try to give. And then you will feel friendship. You feel friendship with others when you give. You do something to them. And from that feeling of friendship, you can offer. You can offer what we should feel compassion for anyone who is being bombarded by these modes of nature. Because we understand, as devotees, we understand it's not that people are bad, it's that they're under the influence of the mode of nature. This is one of the most difficult things to understand in Krishna. And therefore, Lord Brahma, he says in the famous verse, Tatein Kambam Savichabam. We have to patiently await the mercy of the Lord, however it comes. We like certain types of mercy, like the mercy of Krishna gives me some good fortune, externally speaking, good health, but we don't always like the other types of mercy. Krishna takes something away because, just like many of you have children, probably most of you. So, you know that when you try to take something away from a child, it's a very difficult process. So, so it's difficult for us to accept sometimes Krishna's mercy when it comes in a way that's not so palatable for us. But at the same time, it's like a child. We have to remember that Krishna is the only thing Krishna wants. He just wants our love. He doesn't need anything. Just like if we need something, we probably just wouldn't ask somebody, could you give me a leaf? No. Or maybe a little water or a fruit. No, we want to get more than that. Krishna said he picks insignificant and bountiful things that you can find in you. Find many leaves on much water. But because he doesn't need anything. The only thing that Krishna is lacking, and he's not really lacking, it's just that he wants to bring it out of it, is our love for him. Although we're already expressing our love for Krishna, but we're expressing it to the wrong people. We're expressing it to family and friends. So Chaitanya says, Pratipadam Purtam Purnamidam. He says, at every step, we're looking for the nectar of Krishna. But when we don't have Krishna, then we look for it in my son, my daughter, my father, my mother, my wife, my husband. Whatever is most intimate to us and offers us the greatest degree of love that we can experience at this moment in time. That becomes our deity, our worship object. Some people it's money, for some people it's family, for some people it's work, for some people it's being the president of the country, hero, or whatever. Whatever brings out the feeling of love. Because that's what Krishna is offering. Krishna, he just wants to offer everything. He wants to offer everything. There's one prayer at the fifth canto of the Bhagavatam, where the demigods are praying and they say, my dear Lord, you want to satisfy the desire, all the desires of your devotee. Because if we read that, we think, oh, good. Spot on. And, but, then they say, but, the but, not always so comfortable. But, if you see that by giving them this, it will increase their attachment for material nature, then you make a trade. You, instead of giving what they want, you put your lotus feet on them. Now you can put it on their head in two ways. You can put it on their head like Bali Maharaj. Gently put your foot there, you'll surrender. Or you can do like Kaliya. We decide how much pressure we want Krishna to put, how we respond to Krishna consciousness. Do we want Kaliya Bhakti, or do we want, Rukmini or the gopis would grab his lotus feet, or Haridas Thakur, grab the feet of the Lord, put him on his heart. So that's our decision. And so these Anarthas. Then finally, Vyasadeva concludes that he says that they're not so difficult to give up. It's just that lokasya janati. The people don't understand. They don't understand what Anarthas are. They don't understand that everything they're doing in this material world creates a reaction. And therefore, Sapkare Sapati Samhita. And therefore, the saintly people are speaking this Bhagavad Gita, this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, for the benefit of everyone. And then he said, Yasyam Bhai Shriyamanayam. Anyone who hears this Bhagavatam, Krishna Parama Purushe, and comes to the conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then Bhaktir Upadyante Umsa. Then immediately the seed of devotion will sprout within your heart. And then that moha, lamentation, all illusion, all fear, all anxiety, all negative things will be eliminated. So when Lord Chaitanya, this verse of Rupa Goswami, dosha, it actually comes from Lord Chaitanya. He taught this verse to Anartha Goswami. Compiled it. But right after that, Lord Chaitanya says, how will this happen? How will this Anartha Nivritti? So he gives us a clue as to what we can look for, what we can try to see to understand if I'm going beyond anarthas or not. What can I do? So he gives a list of different things that things that we should look for within our heart to see if it's happening, to see if my devotional service is progressing properly. One of the main things Namagana asked about, am I getting more taste or chanting the Holy Name? Just like one devotee asked you to Prabhupada, how can I chant 16 rounds with quality? Prabhupada said 16 rounds means no quality. He said if you have quality, you will not want to do the minimum. You will want to do more. There is no 16 rounds of quality. Unless you want to do more, then you can understand that. So this is very important. You have to come, not wasting any time understanding that. Like Prasad Maharaj, he saw having 7 days is a blessing. I can become very serious. Until we really understand, just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's one prayer, which I'm paraphrasing. He said, I was stuck in the womb. I saw all of the past lives. I acted so foolishly. I made the promise this time I will be very serious. But then I came out and everybody was going cute. Everybody loved me. I was the object of their attention. I grew up, I went to school, I studied hard, I became successful. I had a beautiful family. But then one day, while I was meditating, I saw someone before me laughing very loudly. I said, who are you? I said, I am Death Prasad. Why are you laughing? I've always been here laughing. But you have never been seen. Until we actually see it. And then he says, and then I saw there was a great festival going. I looked in the direction of the festival, I saw a big stone slab. And on top of it was my body. And who is feasting? Worms, jackals. But basically he was saying, I spent my whole life, these 60, 70, 80, 90 years, just preparing a feast for one. So, if we don't take up Krishna consciousness, then I worshipped his body, and the body just became a feast for jackals, vultures, and worms, and other wonderful creatures. hygiene system. So this is what we have to do. To really become serious in Krishna consciousness. Just like Srila Prabhupada, and one man was interviewing him, and he said, why do you engage all these young people in so much spirituality, so much sacrifice and everything? Youth is meant for enjoyment. Prabhupada said, so then one should become serious, being older. Yeah, being old. Prabhupada said, what is older? 65, 70. And Prabhupada said, well, doesn't older mean just before death? Yes, you could say. So the Prabhupada said, when will you die? He said, I don't know. Prabhupada said, could be tomorrow. Yeah. Then you should chant. So, if we just keep that focus, then our Krishna consciousness becomes very serious. And Lord Chaitanya and I will conclude with this. Lord Chaitanya said there are three basic activities of Krishna consciousness. Vaishnava Seva, Nami Ruchi, and Jiva Yoga. That first we serve the Vaishnava. We learn the Vaishnava, people who worship Krishna, they are, they're worthy of our respect, our service. Just like in the Bhagavatam, it says that Shushushor Shradadhan that Vasudeva Kataruchi. How do we get the taste for worshiping and hearing about Vasudeva? Shanma Sevayati, by serving the Vaishnava. And then, as a result of that, Nami Ruchi, we will get a taste for chanting the holy name. When we get a real taste for chanting the holy name, we will want to give it to everyone else. But these are progressive. So if we want to avoid anarthas, we begin by always serving the Vaishnava. And of course, just like in 1969, Srila Prabhupada during the Rath Yatra in San Francisco, one interviewer asked Srila Prabhupada, how many followers do you? Because there was like maybe 200-300 devotees and like thousands of people. How many followers do you have here? Prabhupada looked and said, everyone. And then Prabhupada said, just that some have not understood. So it evolves things like that. And therefore, serving the Vaishnavas actually means serving everyone, because we see them as devotees. Our real Vaishnava, see, there's only one non-devotee. I'm the only one. Everyone else is serving different purposes, either directly or indirectly. Just me, I'm not properly situated, only by the mercy of Sri Guru and the Vaishnava. So, these are some things we can do to always remember that we have very limited time. Prasad Maharaj said, first 5 years you're playing, then you have to go to school. Then after that, you increase your studies. Just like probably many of you, if you count all your education, how many years has it been? Maybe 25 years or so. Your specialist, 30 years, just to be able to maintain the body. 30 years of preparation to be able to maintain the body. Because that's what everything we do in this world ultimately is for maintaining this body and maybe a few others. And so how much more is required to reach the highest ultimate goal in life? If it takes 25 to 30 years to maintain the body, how much to awaken the soul? So that's how serious we should be in our spiritual life. This is, there's no time for it. Ashabandha Samukanta. I'm full of hope and eagerness to please Krishna. Virakti, manya, manashvinita. Therefore, I maintain a status of humility and surrender to Krishna. So if we do this, then we can avoid him. So Anartha Nivritti is just a stage. It's not like Krishna, the advancement of Krishna consciousness is like a rainbow. It's not like you go from yellow to green. You go yellow and then it gets a little different, then it gets green, then a little bit blue. So in the beginning, we have some faith in Krishna. We associate, then we get initiated and we practice Krishna consciousness. And then some of our anarthas start to go away. So this is just the conclusion. So why is it so difficult, anartha? Because it took us so long to accumulate those anarthas. Who here knows how many lifetimes you've been in this material world? Anyone have a figure? No. Definitely in the thousands. Most likely in the millions. But there's 8,400,000 species of life, and we're at the top of the cycle. We've been through quite a few bodies. And all through those bodies, to be able to go down to those species, come back up, go down again, come back up. It means a lot of anarthas. So to be able to clear those anarthas away in a few years, it's pretty miraculous. It means that it proves the potency of the holy name. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave us a formula. He said, if you do Anartha Nivritti for 20 years without deviation, one day without deviation, then you can come to the platform of Artha Pravritti, which means I just hear about Krishna's Leela and his Guna and his names and his Rupa and form. I'm just completely sick. I want nothing else. That's called Artha Pravritti. So that's all we have to do. Just keep it counting. 365, 20. That many days I have to practice Krishna consciousness very serious. And then I can be an Artha Pravritti. But of course he said that it's not automatic. Otherwise it's not like, well, okay, I had 2 days in Maya, but a little Maya here, okay. But there's 3 quarters. But that quarter I was serious in the morning, and over here so that was 1 day. Not like a puzzle. We put it together and come to Anartha Nivritti. We just have to be very, very surrendered to the Vaishnava, the devotees of the Lord, and practice these things. Look for these signs within the heart. I have no more attraction for material things. I don't want to waste any time. I'm feeling more attraction for the holy name. I'm eager to serve Krishna. I have great hope that only by Krishna consciousness can I be successful. I purify my home by having deity, kirtan, and if we do these things, then the anarthas they go away. But there still may be a few anarthas left. Even when one is nishta, one is strict, there's a few anarthas left. But according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, as soon as we come to the point of that I want to serve Krishna so much that, as Rupa Goswami said, that that we actually achieve detachment by becoming attached to Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. Becoming attached to Krishna. So this is the process. Actually, the real process is not struggling to get rid of things. It's struggling to put more and more of Krishna consciousness in my life. The displacement. You displace it. You move out the negative things. Absorb the positive things of Krishna. And that's the easiest way to do it. So that's what we do by doing this. That our sadhu, we should be so anxious for sadhu time. That even though there may not be a temple activity going on with my own family, with my friends, with my whoever, let me try to every evening do something for Krishna together with some other devotee or with my family. Then that's how Srila Prabhupada started this movement. Every day we would, well, actually when once Mangalarti started, we would chant Udila Aruna Purva before Mangalarti, chant Mangalarti, and then you're supposed to the whole day was just Krishna. So one may say, well, that's okay for brahmachari. You know? The majority of us who have to work or have to maintain our families, but it's the same process. But Srila Prabhupada said, actually, a brahmachari should work harder than anyone else because they have to work for Krishna 24 hours a day. There's no alternative. There's nothing else to do. But Prabhupada said in 1968 that everyone has to chant 16 rounds. He said, especially the Gita. You must chant very carefully because you will be in touch, you will be in contact with material. But because you're in contact, as Prabhupada said, if you go fishing, which most of us don't do, but we may fish for someone to come out of material abuse. But if you go fishing, don't get pulled in the water. Try to get the biggest fish, but don't get pulled in the water. Otherwise, we practice our Krishna consciousness, but we don't try to do it artificially so that it becomes so difficult that we just resort back to it. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada said it's a gradual, not so gradual that it never happens. So it means advance as much as you can, but always maintain, a peaceful psychological condition. Because even Srila Prabhupada, if Prabhupada was in a place and a door slammed, he'd be very angry. Because he was concentrating so deeply on translating the Bhagavad. It's like one devotee, and I'll definitely conclude with this. One devotee was chanting out, and he thought, let me go chant outside of Prabhupada's room and he'll see them chanting nicely. Mm-hmm. He went to Prabhupada's window. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada opened the window and he said, oh, you're chanting very nicely. Prabhupada said, this was in Bhaktivinoda Nivritti. There are so many places to chant. You can go there in the trees and you can go chant. You realize I'm disturbing Prabhupada. He would be happy. So the point is, even a pure devotee needs the certain conditions to practice their devotional service. So we all need that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if acquiring conditions takes away from life, that means it's accepted. But actually there is nothing material. The only material thing is the illusion that there is something separate from Krishna. But Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. Everything material and spiritual emanates from me. And therefore there's nothing that's separated. only our consciousness. Maybe, hopefully not. Sometimes it's anyway, these are some thoughts. How we can avoid them, how we can overcome them. Good. Any questions, comments? Okay.
Please accept my full obeisance. Thank you for wonderful lecture. Actually, we look forward to this thing, something bothering us all the time, how to get rid of anxiety. So, one thing you mentioned, Maharaj, is why we are passing through this 8.4 million species of. So these are actually Bhoga bodies, right? That we are just going to actually just try to. Are we going to accumulate anarthas in these bodies also? The bodies like animal bodies other than human form?
No. No, Krishna says, may have to my master speak, but divine which is based on this. That by performing a little bit of devotional service, that you can avoid the greatest danger, which is to take a lower birth. Just by a little devotion. So if we're chanting every day, if we're serving Krishna. But the point is, we don't want to take any birth. We don't want a lower birth or higher birth. We want no birth. And if we have to take birth, we want to take it in pure devotee. So, of course, a devotee in humility, they may say, Jamani Prabhu said, I want to serve your birth after birth. One time one devotee said that to Prabhu. He said, no, you should want to get out of this material. But Prabhu said, ready. He was saying that artificial. But, if we're just trying to be as serious as possible, Krishna can see better than we can see how much of an effort. If I'm making 100% effort, that's perfect. Whereas my 100% may not be somebody else's. But Krishna can see that that's as much as I can do at this particular point. Krishna can see that more clearly than we can. And Krishna is very anxious for it. And the only reason it may seem like he's not recognizing effort is because he wants us to make a little more, which is the dilemma for Prasad Maharaj. He said, why is it that the devotees of Shiva are very prosperous? When Shiva is always meditating, he has no clothing, meditating, and Krishna is the God, husband of the goddess of fortune, and his devotees are not so. Shiva. So, Sripati Goswami said that's because Krishna is Prakriti Parama Purusha. He is beyond material nature and he wants us to come to that. Whereas Shiva is in charge of the material. So if you please him, he'll give you all the material that you stay in the material world. You may end up like the gods,
Thank you, Maharaj.
I have a question, like, why does Krishna create Maya? Like, why does he create the distraction and why does he want us to overcome this? When he creates this world, why can't he create a world which is free from all this Maya so that it is easier for everyone to come to him?
Krishna wants us to come back, but in the proper way. Just like people who die, scuba dive, they go underwater. When they come up, they have to be very careful. Otherwise, you get too much nitrogen in the blood, and you can die. So, Krishna wants to make sure that we come back to him with a pure heart. If he could just force us to do so, then we would be like robots. Okay. People ask this all the time, well, Krishna, why does he create all these problems? He doesn't. We create them. No. Jana eva eva vipakam, Lord Brahman said that it's all atmakritta. Whatever's happening in you is atmakritta. You've done it yourself. If you can't see when you made your mistake. You're trying to see it within this lifetime. It's like sometimes we may not like someone and something happens to them. You see. Well, we don't know that. We don't know what reaction they are receiving at that point. Could have been from 100 lifetimes. We don't know. But we see things in terms of time and space. As far as our conception of time and space can reach, that's how much we can conceive of things within this world. So, but Krishna is simply rewarding us according to our desires and according to our merit. One thing is the desire, the other thing is, what do I deserve it? To my activity. Or do I deserve it now? Just like the Maharaj, he says that it's very curious that whatever I want, I never get, and whatever I don't want, I always get. It's my problem. So that's all of our problems. We want something, but then we may get it at the wrong time. And then we don't want something and we get it all the time. But it's all due to our past activity. Krishna is doing everything he can to bring us back home, back to Krishna. Otherwise, this temple wouldn't be here. Radha Krishna wouldn't be standing there, and Gornita would not be there. Well, I probably said in a few occasions, he said, there's no reason for Krishna to be here. Why does he have to come to us? He may get, in one sense, here he gets air conditioning and heating, whereas in India he doesn't always get that. But in any case, Krishna's not doing it to us. We're doing it to ourselves.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. One question I have is about if we are going through a bad time. Is it due to anarthas, or is it the mercy of Krishna, or is it something else? How do we know?
What?
So, if we are going through some bad time, how do we know if it is due to some anarthas?
Oh, it's definitely due to something we did. There's no doubt about it. But some people are the instruments of our karma. So internally, if we want to advance quickly, we can understand whatever is happening. Even the most wonderful thing, materially speaking, or the most horrific thing, it's happening because of my own activity. But a Kshatriya, that's how a Brahmin thinks. But a Kshatriya, who has to protect society and establish justice, they can't think that. They have to think in terms of laws and rules. Whoever breaks the law has to be punished. They can't think, well, actually that person's already being punished because he deserves it. No, if somebody's victimized externally, then the Kshatriya have to. But if we want to understand things philosophically, which as I said, it's difficult, we can understand everything that's happening to me. It's not by chance. That's something. One chapter in the first canto is called "The Pandavas Retire Untimely." So untimely means that you do something that was not maybe not something that you plan to do, but the result. So let's speak of the things you plan to do. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So question is like, we know the importance of chanting and we are doing the chanting and we are also reading the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. But distractions come and we are not able to like escape them. So why that happen and what can be done?
Well, you're only not able to escape them if you think you're not able to. But if we can't overcome it, it means that we have to chant with more quality. And we have to hear, not that just by automatically reading the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam automatically will change it. We have to want it. And therefore Rupa Goswami said, what is the price of tasting Krishna consciousness? You have to really taste it. And what is the price? The price is an intense desire to have. Intense desire. So when we hear Bhagavatam with an intense desire, then we will capture so much more within our heart. So it's just like if in spite of it, it's like the one verse in the 8th chapter of the Adi Lila, the brother says, in spite of chanting, if I commit offenses, in spite of chanting, I won't develop love of God for hundreds of lifetimes. It's a very liberal translation. Basically what it means. Until I can become free, then so I have to work on it. If I'm not chanting, it's not that it's inevitable. I can't avoid it. But I've convinced myself that because I want to. Otherwise, if I want to be Krishna conscious, just like Prabhupada said one time in France, he said, what is the difficulty? He said that. I wonder what he said. So Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? Everybody said different things. And then finally one said, because we don't want to. That is difficult. You don't want. So if we think something is, somehow or another, Maya is just like you asked, why is Krishna doing this to me? Why is Maya so difficult? If we think like that, we should understand my mind is trying to keep me from being Krishna conscious because of no attachment. I know that if I'm too Krishna conscious, I have to give this up. Therefore, my mind is very complex. It will figure out a way to convince me I can't give this up. And therefore, I'll have to put my Krishna consciousness in the back burner a little bit so I can fulfill my desire. Otherwise, if Krishna wants us to be his devotee, he wants us to come back to him. He says, don't fear. No. Don't fear. Don't fear. Don't. I will take care of everything. He says that. If we don't believe that, it means our faith is not strong. We have to believe Krishna wants that, and he's going to do it immediately. We just have to respond. He's already doing it. He's already given us Bhagavad Gita. He's given us the holy name. He's explained through our acharyas how to chant the holy name properly. But we're just, like you say, we're distracted because we want to be distracted. Because we have so much attachment that we just don't want to give up. Like, Krishna, please take away all my material desires except for, A, B, and D.
I find it hard to find the balance between being optimistic and happy practicing Krishna consciousness and remembering that the material world is terrible and like kind of like feeling should I be pessimistic when somebody has a good meal, like how should I like
Yes, when we see someone acting improperly or in a way that's, then we should think, Krishna, thank you for showing me how miserable this world is. Instead of thinking, oh, why are they doing this to me? If I'm too humble, they will, take advantage of me. Because if we're really Krishna conscious, no one can take advantage. If we're fully Krishna conscious, they may try to take advantage, but Krishna will protect. It's just that in between, before I'm fully Krishna conscious, this is what we're calling Anartha Nivritti. Trying to get rid of my doubts, my fears, my anxieties. But the best way is to be Krishna conscious. Sometimes we may fail. Do you have the Bhagavatam? So in the 11th canto, 20th chapter, read verses 27 and 28. And it will tell you what to do when you want to be Krishna conscious, but somehow or another the material desire is coming. It tells you what to do. 11, 20, 27, 28. Very, very good instruction in the Bhagavad.
Krishna Prabhu. So but what is the difference between the karmas which we get from previous birth and the Anartha Nivrittis which we accumulate during the life? Is it like Anartha Nivrittis only during our lifetime now is what we accumulate, or is it getting accumulated from a lot of births?
It's mostly coming from past life. But Krishna offers us the opportunity to eliminate all that karma just by surrendering to him.
Once we go into Krishna consciousness and once we start doing bhakti, does our karmas become less in this
Yeah,
karma?
it will be completely eliminated. But the effects of karma may still be there. Even if you, become very Krishna conscious, there'll still be some difficulty because because you're in this world, you're in a certain body, you're in a certain situation, and that karma has already dictated how this life will more or less. But it can change. Some factors can change, but the basic structure will not change. And therefore, I may have to suffer, but if I go into that suffering condition with proper consciousness, I won't suffer. Because suffering is really just a state of mind.
So when we say examples like Ajamil and all who had done so much bad in their current life, but yet they could get out of it in that life itself. How does that happen?
Well, Ajamil, his life was showing the power of the holy name. How powerful it is. But Prabhupada said, don't follow the Ajamil. Don't do everything wrong and then last minute, I'll have 20 kids and then I'll name one. So, better to do a Rupa Goswami life. Do a Prabhupada life. Rather than a Jamil life.
Anybody has question online? Can type the message.
Krishna Maharaj.
Right.
So happy to see you.
Happy to see you, both of you.
You mentioned about there are two ways of either trying to fit bhakti into my life or trying to fit my life into bhakti or bhakti life into my little things inside or trying to get my work done to Krishna consciousness. So I was wondering what would be your personal experience and how to make that shift, that bridge between starting off as, okay, I fit Krishna into my life, and how to make the transition consciously in practice to switch that into let me lead my life according to Krishna's will.
Well, of course, how we practice Krishna consciousness depends on many external factors, meaning how I design my practice of Krishna consciousness. But just like Mahatma Prabhu said many times, that Krishna consciousness, when it becomes a relationship with Krishna, it's like people get married, and then they have a relationship, they're always with that person. Always with. So it really means whatever your lifestyle is, it just means having that relationship with Krishna. Feeling like I always tell people that if you love your children, if you want to love them more, love them through Krishna. Otherwise, see them as devotees. Don't see them as my son or my daughter or my body. And see them as a devotee who Krishna has sent for me to associate with and with the responsibility to give them Krishna consciousness. And that way, whatever our relationship may be with anyone, father, mother, son, daughter, husband, wife, whatever, it becomes more meaningful and it becomes more responsible. There's no question of anything except service. When we see people, especially those who are dear to us as devotees. So I always say, see the dearest things to you as belonging to Krishna. Just like Krishna does the opposite in Bhagavad Gita. See see everything connected by seeing the possessions of others as garbage. See, we see things in terms of Krishna consciousness. And we see things in terms of our relationship with Krishna. And then everything else is a duty. Just like we have so many bodily duties during the day, we have to sleep, we have to eat. It's automatic. I don't have to think about it. Meditate on how to do it. So everything we're doing externally should be like that. It's just an automatic. But my concentration, my concentration is on Krishna. I'm just abandoned. Just totally undeviated meditation.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Right?
Hare Krishna. What is the ideal day of a Grihastha? You mentioned Grihastha must chant 16 rounds. What is an ideal day? Ideal day of a Grihastha?
One time Srila Prabhupada said, the perfection of Grihastha life is to give 50% Krishna. But that means, doesn't just mean gross income, it means like giving 50% of everything we're doing to Krishna. And the other 50% is also for Krishna, but we have to manage it in the material energy. Ideal Grihastha life, Prasad Maharaj speaks about it. The ideal Grihastha life means that everything I'm doing is ultimately, even though the activities, sometimes in Grihastha life, the activities may seem to be indirect. Like I'm working for someone, my own business. We don't see Krishna so much manifested, but we have to see that while I'm working, just like Narada Muni asked Lord Vishnu, who is greatest devotee, and he gave several examples, but one of them was a farmer. And so Narada Muni was observing the farmer. He would pray for 10, 15 minutes in the morning, and he would plow all day long. And then he would pray at the end of the day. Narada Muni was perplexed. How can this be the greatest devotee? He's plowing. So he asked Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu said, I want you to take this cup of whatever, like ghee, water, whatever. It's filled to the brim. Don't spill one drop. You walk. Don't spill one drop. The Lord is waiting for him. So he said, did you spill any? He said, did you think of me? He said, no. I thought of your instruction. So we have to conduct our activities according to the instruction. Or whatever, however mundane it may seem to be. If we always remember it's for the purpose of satisfying Krishna, and it's on the order of Krishna. I have to be responsible. I have to maintain my family. This is the order of the Lord. But I do it for Krishna. I want my house to be Krishna conscious. I want my family to be Krishna conscious. I create that circumstance, even if they don't take advantage of it. It's like, who could have a better father than Srila Prabhupada? One of his sons was very materialistic. The other one was kind of neutral, and the other one became a devotee. I mean, they were all devotees in a general sense. One of his sons even sued the movement, trying to get more money, inheritance. So, it's we can't guarantee that our children will be Krishna conscious, but we can make our maximum effort to create the circumstances by which they can become Krishna conscious.
Thank you, Maharaj, for wonderful class. And Anartha Nivritti is one of the important while we are in sadhana stage. And we need to develop intense desire for the Krishna consciousness, and also we need to develop an attitude so that I have to get rid of Anartha. We need to develop it. Thank you for emphasizing your divine grace on us. Hare Krishna. Devotees, tomorrow we have the same time. We have Hare Krishna Maharaj classes till Friday, I think Saturday, every evening and Saturday morning. Please try to attend. Hare Krishna.